You're watching LMCC, your community TV.
People debate the value of history. Confucius says, study the past if you want to define your own future. And author Michael Crichton says, and I quote, if you don't know history, then you don't know anything. You are a leaf that doesn't know it's part of the tree. But then there's Henry Ford, and he says history is bunk. Well, today we're going to talk to somebody who probably has very strong opinions on that. Welcome to The Pulse, the show that tunes you into the heartbeat of the Lake Minnetonka community. We're here at the Westonka History Museum to talk with the board director, Pam Myers.
Hi.
Hi. So Pam, we'd like a tour of the museum. We'd like you to tell us all about it.
Love to have you here.
Great.
Hope you'll come back again soon.
I'm sure we will.
We've only been in this building a year, so we still are welcoming people that don't even know that we exist yet. So we're happy to have you come and visit.
Great.
We have been a historical society for lots of years. We started in 1966, okay. But we've only been in a storefront just the last couple of years, and only in this building 12 months. We're just tickled to be here.
Well, it's really nice, and it's a really nice collection. I can tell it's well put together and well thought out. So we're in the introduction room. Is that what you call this room?
The welcome room.
The welcome room. Okay.
So people come in here and they do a little research, or they watch our videos. We have 24 history videos.
Oh, great.
They look at the retail that we have for sale, about local history and written by local residents. And then they go down and visit our collections.
And I noticed we have two books by Pam Myers. Can you tell us about those?
I can. One was quite a fun school history project. I interviewed 100 people who graduated locally here from high school before 1950. You should hear the people after 1950 wanting another book. It's not planned. But there were 24 grade schools that students went to prior to going to high school here. Our high school opened in 1917, about to be the 100th graduating class.
Wow, that's so exciting. And I know you're an expert on this because you were superintendent of the Westonka Public Schools. Is that how you'd say that?
That's right.
Yep.
Yes, I worked here for 20 years.
Wow.
In different capacities, and I was superintendent for 7.
And now you're here at the museum.
And now I'm here at the museum,
Yep.
collecting the history of our community.
Very interesting. Is there anything else in this room to talk about that you'd like to share?
We have an obituary collection here.
Oh, yeah.
And we have some historical books of each of the towns, each of our 5 communities in this room.
Say
as well.
what those towns are.
Mound, Minnetonka, Spring Park, Navarre, and Minnetonka Beach.
Okay. So Pam, if I wanted to find out about something, what would I do? What if I wanted to find out where my family cabin was, for example?
Well, you would come here, and you might have some idea of where that was. We have a collection of telephone directories. Initially, the directories, for the cabins just had the name of the cottage and a street, perhaps. So we have them for Island Park as well as for the community as a whole. And we might find your parents' name, your grandparents' name there, and they had come with a map, so we could maybe find and take you to the address.
Oh, how wonderful. So this is a great place to research then.
For sure.
Yeah, great. Well, maybe we should move on down the hall to the next room.
Let's do that.
Okay.
This is the Community and Schools room. It represents our 5 towns as well as our school district.
Well, show us what you like about this room. What's interesting to you?
Particularly in this room, we have the collection of yearbooks. The high school opened in 17, first graduating class in 18. They didn't have a yearbook until 23, but we have copies of every yearbook from 1923 through 50 and many after that.
Okay.
So we have copies, and then they're in plastic sleeves so that the public can handle them. Doesn't hurt for them to handle them.
Oh, nice.
Did you know that when we talk about signing your yearbook, signing your name in your yearbook, the reason you had to do it initially was because there were no names.
Oh.
You had to sign your name for me to know who you were in your yearbook.
Oh my, that would keep you very busy at the end of the year, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would. Yes, it would indeed. We also have, in addition to the businesses and their advertising information from decades of businesses in our 5 towns, we have over here a pistol which was found by a fellow from MDOT when they were redesigning Highway 15 going through Mound, and he found this pistol. He does this all over, apparently, wherever they have projects throughout the state of Minnesota. And he could do the research on the pistol and tell us it was from a voyageur.
Wow.
Who probably lost it when he was checking his line through the ice. He probably dropped it through the ice. He was probably very sad.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure he missed that. Now,
We're very happy to have it.
Absolutely. Would that be one of the oldest pieces in the museum?
I'd say that's true.
Okay.
If you ever go down Trinidad, they make you feel so very glad.
So Pam, tell us where we are now.
This is a room that we've dedicated to local residents. And the 2 major donors at the moment have donated to us collections of Andrews Sisters things. The Andrews Sisters spent their summers here from the time they were quite young until they had achieved stardom.
In the 40s, right?
In the 40s, right? And the piano behind you is really a treasure. This was actually the piano that the girl's mother played while they practiced singing. They came out here to visit their uncles, the Solis, who had a grocery store just across from where the Gillespie Center is today.
Okay.
And she played on that piano and they sang,
Oh, nice.
practicing. So they came from the time they were very young. They had a very soft spot in their hearts for the Lake Minnetonka area, Cooks Bay particularly,
sure.
Surfside Park particularly. One of them had their ashes strewn over the lake. And Patty Andrews got to be quite friends with Tom Rockbam, local resident, and donated to us the dress and costume jewelry from her estate.
And the dress is absolutely tiny. It's hard to believe people could be that small.
That's
and
true, quite a small
have such a
waist.
big presence.
Yes.
Yes.
One of our fundraisers was a birthday party for Patty Andrews, and we got her on the phone, and we sang happy birthday to her, and she sang back to us on the phone, which was quite fun. In this room, we also have our collection of Native American items. We don't have a very large Native American collection, but we're pleased to be able to display that as well. And then we have other people that we'd like to honor in this room, but we don't have space for, one of whom is Kevin Sorbo,
Okay.
graduate from our local high school, star of Hercules and Andromeda and a variety of other movies. We do have his sword on display downstairs.
Wonderful.
We have a collection that could grow. The displays could be much larger. We are still accepting displays. We're accepting items from the public to enhance our displays as well.
Okay.
A week doesn't go by that somebody doesn't offer us something, but we are already too crowded to display much more than we have on display.
But again, if I wanted to come in and research,
Absolutely.
we'd be able to get some of
Absolutely.
those things.
And there is another floor in this building that we would love to occupy, and maybe the city councils in the 5 cities will help us do that.
okay, so that leads me into the question of how our viewers can help support the museum.
Well, we would love to have them come visit. Then they will see the collection and they can talk to their friends about how wonderful it is, and perhaps also talk with their city government about supporting us.
Excellent. So donations.
Donations of financially for the light and heat, as well as donations of objects related to the Westonka area.
Okay. Could you also use volunteers?
We need volunteers.
Excellent.
We're open every Saturday, 10 to 2. And as you can imagine, particularly in the summertime, weekends are precious. And so it's hard sometimes to cover the opening of the museum on the weekend. So we'd love to have volunteers.
Great, great, great. So let's take a look at the next room and see what we can see.
Perfect. This is our Tonka toy collection.
Wow, what a fun room.
Isn't this amazing?
Oh, it's just great.
Again, this one is based on mostly on 2 different collections. Lloyd Lawman, who's been giving us portions of his collection since 2005. He was in management at Tonka.
Okay.
And Ron Pauly, who has adopted us and adopted this room and
Right.
set up displays for us. About half of the toys are from him.
Nice.
Hardly a week goes by that someone doesn't bring a toy to donate. We've started to identify the toys chronologically So they start here in the 40s. When the company started in the 40s, they were going to make closet accessories. That would be like tie racks.
Okay.
And they changed over to toys, and the toys, of course, were a hit, and the rest is history.
Excellent. So what am I looking at here? What's this? This is great. Pictures of employees, perhaps?
Yes, sales employees in that particular book.
Wow. And then I see we've got the catalog for the barbecues that that Tonka Toys built. Well, this is really an exciting collection. I can imagine how much it's going to grow.
So the collection is 40s, 50s, 60s, and then goes around the corner to 70s and 80s.
Okay. So how many pieces do you think you have at this point?
We're up to 400.
400.
Yes.
Thank you, Pam, for showing us the museum.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming to visit.
Joining me now is someone who had the opportunity to work for Tonka Toys from 1965 to 1983. Please welcome Ron Pauley.
Hello.
Hi, Ron. Tell us how you got started at Tonka Toys.
Well, I went to Dunwoody and took up sheet metal work in the early 60s, and was a journeyman sheet metal worker. And by coincidence, Charlie Groshin, who was the first model maker for Tonka Toys until they hired him full-time in 1954, also went to Dunwoody. Getting back to the 60s, I ended up wanting to make a semi-truck. I got a hold of some Tonka Toy wheels, and on my own, I made this model of at that time it was a GMC cab over with a stainless steel van trailer. And that was in 1961 when I did that. And in 62, 63, I made a model of this Caterpillar earth mover. And I was on a construction job down in Minneapolis. We were adding on to the convention hall to the Minneapolis Auditorium, which was tore down years ago to make the current convention center. But they had brought a truck crane on the job site that had double steering front axles, and that just awed me because that was something totally different. So I decided I wanted to make a model of that. My father drove school bus down here in Mound, and I had him stop at Tonka Toys in 1964 in October and try to get some Mighty Tonka wheels so I could make this truck crane. In the process, he ended up talking to Charlie Groshin about it. Charlie said, why does he want him? And my father said, well, my son made these two models. And so Charlie told my father, bring those in. So my dad, between bus runs, stopped at Tonka, showed Charlie these two toys. Charlie told my father, if your son wants to do that for a living, have him come in some Saturday, which I did in November. And in January, I quit freezing to death on the construction site, started as a model maker at Tonka Toys. The top two sellers in the Mighty Tonka line were this Mighty dump truck and then this Mighty front end loader, which I had designed. Parts of this loader are still being used in current toys. A lot of play value, and the two really work together. For instance, in 1971, both these toys still sold over 300,000 a year. The Mighty dump sold, they had a big celebration in the plant the year that the 7 millionth Mighty dump truck came out. But they made many more than 7 million Mighty dumps. And like I said, this trailed behind by not that much. It just was a natural pair.
Well, we want to thank Pam and Ron for joining us today and introducing us to this wonderful museum, and also to Pam for resolving the debate about the importance of history when she said, history is fun. Well, now we're going to step outside and get some fresh air and find out about an event that you won't want to miss.
Here's what's coming up on First Responder TV. Kevin Supprell, emergency physician and EMS medical director, will teach us how to perform compression-only CPR. We'll give you an update on scams that have been targeting citizens in the lake area. We'll introduce you to Chris Pounder, the 2013 Mound Firefighter of the Year. The LMCC safety expert gives us some important severe weather tips on Safety Source.
First Responder TV airs daily on LMCC's Channel 12.
Hi, I'm here at Surfside Park in Mound, and in a little while all this will be transformed into Spirit of the Lakes Festival. And today we're going to go behind the scenes and introduce you to someone who's been instrumental in making this such a successful event over so many years. She's a member of the Board of Directors of the Spirit of the Lake Festival. Please welcome Kristen Bisey. Thanks so much for joining us today, Kristen.
Oh, I'm so glad to be here. Thank you for inviting us.
Yeah, well, what can you tell us about the event?
The Spirit of the Lakes Festival starts on July 17th, 18th, and 19th, and it is a really fun 3-day event made for every age. It kicks off with a mayor's welcome on Thursday, July 17th. We have the kiddie parade that everyone loves to go to. And then we also have other things. We have a live music. We have Boots and Badges Safety Fair, which is a compilation of the safety organizations around the area. Police department, fire department. In fact, Beverly, this year I understand there will be a live fire kitchen that they will actually have burns going on and live demonstrations. You can enjoy that. We have a beach bar and tiki bar, and we will then end the evening with the Vibro Chant, which is a fun family-friendly rockabilly band.
Oh, how cute.
Yes, and that's just Thursday.
Oh, wow.
Friday, we are starting a never ever unprecedented event on Cooks Bay. Right behind me is Cooks Bay. We will have the Minnesota Wake Surf Championship, never done before on Lake Minnetonka. And so we're very excited. That will be all day Friday and all day Saturday, with awards given out Saturday. So come down. There'll be a wonderful way to be a spectator for that event. On Friday evening will be all about music and dancing, and we will have the beach and tiki bar open again then, and we will have 2 bands. One will be kind of your band. It's called Mockstar, and it's kind of like a karaoke on with a kick, where they'll let you be in the band with your own music and play an instrument, sing along or whatever. And then Maiden Dixie, and they have their country in their roots, but they have some soul and some blues as well. And so Friday night will be a really big fun night too. But Saturday's the big day. Saturday we have wake surfing again behind me. We will have the grand parade. We will have art festival, business showcase, live music all day. And then we will have music in the evening with the Rhino Band, and then also amazing fireworks right off of this bay in Cooks Bay. So we're very excited about all 3 days.
That is so cool. So you talked about the wake surfing. What else is special and new this year?
Well, we are returning with the medallion hunt that we started in the centennial year and did not do last year. And so we're excited to bring that back, the medallion hunt. And then we're also we're getting active. So right where I stand will be, Dwayne will have Dwayne's boot camp. And so you can sign up for that on Thursday and Saturday, and just a fun boot camp. So that's another thing that's new. And of course, Harbor Wine and Spirits has provided another new wonderful layout of the beer and wine tastings. It's just, you'll love it this year. It'll be wonderful.
Oh, that sounds like so much fun.
Yes.
So I noticed when I was looking at the event that you've got so many sponsors, so many business sponsors, and I know that this is really important every year. So tell me, what do you think this brings out in your community?
Yes, I'd like to say that I would hope that this festival makes us more proud to be in this community. It's an amazing collaboration of the businesses, the sponsors, the community members who volunteer, and all of the city of Mound and the neighboring cities. Everyone comes together to just make this a place we all want to gather. And so I'd hope it may make them proud. We could not do it without our sponsors, and I will say there are 4 major sponsors that do incredible contributions, and that would be Remax Advantage Plus, Concept Landscaping, Mound Entertainment, as well as Harbor Wine and Spirits. Right. So they do an amazing job. We couldn't do it without them, and many other sponsors. Please go to our website and see the whole entire list.
Oh, thank you, thank you. So just one more thing. We've talked about how it helps the community. How has this helped you? Because I know you've been so involved for so many years.
Yes.
And not only that, but how can our viewers get involved?
Yes, my husband John and I have been involved since 2006. And every year we love everything that we do and everyone we work with, and the compilation of talent that comes together. But what it really happens is at the end of Saturday, we've been working for 3 straight days, so is everyone else. It's hot, and you're just about to sit down to watch the fireworks. And just before the music starts, you look over and there's a little kid with a face painted on them, and they're falling asleep in their ice cream cone, and they're ready to watch the fireworks. But for the work that all of us did, they wouldn't be able to do. For us, that's really what keeps us here every year, is that little face.
Oh, that's so sweet. And now tell us again how our viewers can get involved and have some of this fun too.
Yes, our website is the perfect dashboard for you to go to. Go to volunteer@spiritofthelakes.com, go to Spirit of the Lakes website, and then you can also volunteer or just participate. Join us on Facebook, join us on Twitter, join us on Instagram, tell your friends, and buy a button. They will be going on sale in a few weeks. Buy a t-shirt, and we have a fun design this year and fun colors. Just participate, get out there, and let us know how we can make it more for you. So just go to our website or call any of us. We're excited to help you learn how to participate.
Great, thanks. Well, it's been great talking to you today.
Yes, well, thank you, Beverly. Thank you very much.
Sounds like there's something for everybody at the Spirit of the Lakes Festival, so we hope to see you all there. That's it for our show tonight. Wherever you go, whatever you do, we hope you have a marvelous June.